Oh my god, like, this is seriously not even turning, this is turning into a mess already. Seriously. Like, I made, like, these sheets that I'm going to reference, and I got my stupid acetone on it, so, like, I can't read what was there, but it's okay, because I've already went over it, like, a million times. Like, this is, like, the 5th time I've written it down, where the other ones are over there. All right, this is just turning into a disaster already. Whatever, you know. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey guys, today we are doing a super simple press-on set using Mia Secret Cover Pink acrylic and some gel polish design, some 3D nail art. Super simple, super easy. And then for the crime, this is just a story about like something that's really pissed me off. Lately, Google and YouTube do like these suggested watch videos or suggested reads, and like you should see my phone. It's so disgusting to open up Google and my homepage be like just full of children's deaths or like people that have been missing, conspiracy theories. Like it's crazy. Anybody who opened my phone would be like, what is this girl up to? But if you like crime and you like nails, definitely hit that subscribe button and come on down this rabbit hole of craziness with us, because this is about to get just sad for this story. Our story starts on July 24th, 1984, when a little 9-year-old girl, Donna Hamilton, is found dead, beaten with a rock, and raped near her home in Rossdale, Maryland. Donna was last seen by 2 neighborhood boys that said they seen her walk off with a 6'5", brown, curly-haired man, bushy mustache, pretty skinny. Police sketched this man and sent out copies. 2 weeks later, an anonymous caller said that this was Kirk Bloodsworth. Although at this time, Kirk was not brown haired. He was super blonde with big sideburns. He was not skinny. He was over 200 pounds or more. Nothing like the description the 2 little boys stated. August 8th, Kirk was questioned by police, and he was known for saying that he had done something that day that would hurt his marriage. And then he also made a statement about a bloody rock. The following day, police showed up at Kirk's cousin's house to arrest him. Almost a year later, Kirk went to trial. Granted, Kirk had fished that area before, and he was kind of similar to the description the boys gave, though not quite. And a caller did say it was him, and he did live 85 miles away, which is the general vicinity. No alibi, and he did say to the cops he had done something that would affect his marriage. 5 witnesses said that they seen Kirk with the victim. Although through the trial, Kirk maintained his innocence, March 8th, 1985, it took jurors 2.5 hours to deliberate and come back with a verdict of guilty of first-degree murder, guilty of sexual assault, and the rape of Dawn Hamilton. Kirk was sentenced to death by gas chamber. Standing in the courtroom at 22 years old, sentenced to death, and the courtroom erupts, screaming, "Give him the gas and kill his ass." While in prison, Kirk still fought for his innocence. He appealed every chance he got, working with a group to help prove Kirk's innocence, police were re-questioned and finally admitted that they never told Kirk's defense that there's another suspect. This at least dropped Kirk's sentence from the gas chamber to only 2 life sentences. While still in bars, Kirk ends up reading a book all about DNA evidence. He actually ends up getting permission to have Dawn's clothing tested for DNA. It takes another year for the DNA evidence to come back, but sadly, during this time, Kirk's mother passed away. Kirk got to go to her funeral, but he still had to visit wearing the shackles from the prison. She never got to hear about the DNA testing finally coming back, and Kirk was no match. 8 years, 11 months, 19 days incarcerated for the worst crime possible, rape and murder of a child. Now a free man, June 8th, 1993, Kirk was released from prison. The first person ever exonerated by DNA evidence. Sad it took a whole nother decade with DNA setting on file for the police to find the real suspect. Kimberly Ruffner ended up in jail on yet more charges for murder and rape. Kimberly was already behind bars, so they took his DNA and it was a match. It was said that Kimberly was actually in prison with Kirk while Kirk served for the murder of Dawn Hamilton. It's actually said that the cell below Kirk's is a cell that Kimberly actually stayed in. So, in the end, justice is served, but this really makes me mad because the simple fact is when doctors don't do what they're supposed to do, or somebody dies, or if somebody gets hurt in the process of them doing their job, they can lose their license, they can get charged. Why are police, chief of police, agencies able to convict civilians, put them behind prison bars? You know, I mean, this is a wrongful conviction. This man sat in prison for 8 years and he was innocent the whole time. His mother died and he didn't even get to touch her, hug her, say goodbye, nothing. It's really disgusting at how police can be so incompetent at doing their job and not ever have to worry about, repercussions. These officers knew there was another suspect. Why did they not ever hand over that information to the defense? They knew they was supposed to hand that information over. In any case, all evidence gets handed over, and they just never handed the most important evidence for this man, not for the case, but for this man. That was the most important piece of evidence. And oh, yeah. So, do you guys remember when he stated that his wife, he had done something that would affect his marriage? Do you guys know what it was that he was talking about? He forgot to get groceries that day. He was he was saying something about a bloody rock that got used against him in court. The reason he even brought up a bloody rock was because the police set down a bloody rock in front of him. I almost feel like he was just set up for this, that they wanted to look competent. A little girl murdered, raped, just a horrible crime happens in their city and they have to find the killer or they're going to look horrible, and they're willing to just pin this murder on anybody that they find. He was not the description of the little boys that the little boys gave, and he wasn't even anywhere around that area. It's just, it really seems criminal to me that this type of thing happens more than we think. And it makes me wonder how many people are sitting behind bars for life or have already been put to death by the gas chamber or the needle, and they were innocent the whole time. This is also kind of scary because this lets us know that, we can be nowhere near something bad happening, and somehow, the cops can make it look like we committed a crime that we was never even near. This man was never near this area. There was never any evidence that this man had even known Dawn Hamilton. There was no evidence that this man was 85 miles away from his home. There was no evidence. There was no eyewitness accounts except for the two little boys in the beginning that stated a description that barely fit this man. And then all of a sudden, five people. Oh, and I was told, like, not told, but I seen where, the two people that couldn't pinpoint Kirk in a lineup, the other three that actually pointed him out, they had seen his face on the news and figured they would point him out because it had to be him, right? The cops would never arrest the wrong person. You're kidding me. A 22-year-old boy's life was taken away. And now Kirk does interviews, and dating is hard for him. Doing anything is hard because people ask him, "Where have you been for the past however long? Why are you just now popping up?" And he's not a liar. So he tells them, "Oh, well, I was in jail for the past 8 years. Can you pass the salt?" How do you explain to people that you've been in jail for 8 years for murder and rape of a child, but you didn't do it? How many friends do you think you're going to have now? And your mother's dead. She died while you was in prison. This really makes me sick. This really just pisses me off to no end. And there are so many things that keep popping up on my phone, and like now I'm just can't sleep. I just read about all these cases, and I just had to bring you this one because this just shocked me, and now I see so many more. There is so many falsely accused incarcerations. Proven. They're proven. And these are only the ones that are proven. And there are several that, people got put on death row and they were found to be innocent. How many people do you think have been put on death row and put to death that were innocent? Good God. They just make me mad. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this story. I hope you guys liked the nails. I forgot to tell you that this was a press-on set with acrylic, but I'm pretty sure you got the gist. And as a tip for these tips, I did not etch the inside of these tips, even though you do need to etch the inside. You can etch the inside with primer. You do not have to use an e-file. And then also, I used base coat for the marbling. I put base coat on my middle finger. Leaving it wet, I put white gel polish, streaked it through it real sloppy, and just kind of let it spread through that wet base gel, and that created the marbling. I cured that for like 30 seconds, and then I went in and used the sticky layer from that to put the foil into. And then, of course, you see 3D flowers. Honestly, I can tell you guys, they're not that hard. It just takes a couple tries, whether it's your first time doing it or your 10th time doing it. The first one sucks, kind of like pancakes. Like your first one always sucks, but after that, you kind of get it down. So, definitely hope you guys like this set. I hope you guys like the story. If you are new here, please subscribe. Please let me know that you're new. I would like to say hi. And yeah, all right. I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you here soon. I'm already doing another crime and claws. This was just a kind of afterthought. I read about this and I watched the documentary and I kind of just had to bring it to you guys. I couldn't not say something because now, yeah, these stories just really affect me. So you kind of got to get it off your chest. So, all right, you guys have a good one, and I will see you again in another episode of Crime and Claws. Bye.